I'm Shirley Paulson in conversation with Natalie Renee Perkins. We're talking about my book, Illuminating the Secret Revelation of John, Catching the Light. And we invite you to listen in. And I think it's interesting to me anyway, that the way this author, and in fact many of the authors of the second century, used the book of Genesis as a frame of reference for these very discussions. And I think that they were thinking of Genesis as a myth also, in the sense that, there are two stories in Genesis. There's the good one, just like there is in the Secret Revelation of John. And then there's the myth part about Adam and Eve and accounting for where evil could have come from as a myth. But I think it's interesting how this author says, well, yeah, parts of the story I can go along with, but other parts I think I want to change it a little bit. And to me, it just sort of illustrated that, so it's a myth and you can look at it from different angles and get different points of view out of it. And I think this author is bringing out the way, if you can conceive of evil as not having an origin in the right source, then it's always going to be looking like it's powerful, looking like it has truth in it, but yet it'll also have the motive of destruction all the time. It'll always try to destroy its own creation.
Oh, I was just going to say, I loved how it felt like it flipped that whole Genesis narrative, the Adam and Eve story, on its head, right? Like where they were really fighting for this knowledge that they were owed, right? Almost. That's where all of the goodness lied, and they were trying to find themselves back to like the light, or to, that they hadn't even had any, what's the word I'm looking for? They'd never been able to relate to before. They'd never had any connection to before, but knew of his, as almost a default from being breathed into. Having it breathed into them, they're like, oh, this is a thing. And I know it's a thing, and I'm going to go get that thing that belongs to me. Right. And then, so the whole apple thing is like trying to keep them away from the good. It's so fast. I loved it.
Well, and I also thought it was really kind of amazing to think about how Eve became more of a role of a savior than the cause of the evil of the world. I mean, whoa, turning about flipping it on his head, because here she's able to save Adam by bringing to his own attention his own spiritual wholeness and his own spiritual identity, because he could see it in her, he could see it in himself. What a role reversal, and what a powerful way to really understand the value and the strength of not only womanhood, but actually humanhood that we have within ourselves, that which is good and recognizable.
And even after they were kicked out, evil still pursued, didn't want them to go, so this idea that we are constantly having to, connecting again back to the work that I do, that our work is never done, right? When we're uprooting and trying to dismantle these systems, it's literally the water that we're steeped in. And so it's up to us to continue to pay attention all around to see how this thing keeps popping up and showing up inside of us, how we keep existing with racism or sexism or homophobia, how do we keep existing with these things? Because it's something that it's ingrained, and that we have to consciously run away from, or uproot, or dismantle, or distance ourselves from. It only survives because we are connecting, because we are still in close proximity to it, because we don't take it away from ourselves.
Thanks for being with us. We've been talking about my book, Illuminating the Secret Revelation of John, Catching the Light, published by Cascade Books, which is available on the website earlychristiantexts.com or your favorite bookseller.